When we talk about living more sustainably, we often think about the usual things, right?
Mm.
Recycling, saving energy.
Yeah, the basics, important stuff.
Totally. But what if, one of the most advanced technologies we have, AI, is actually becoming a huge helper in that?
It really is. It's kind of surprising, maybe, but
Yeah.
AI is stepping up. It's becoming this, well, indispensable tool for a greener planet.
Okay, right. Let's really dig into this then. Welcome to the deep dive. We wade through the information so you don't have to.
Huh, yeah.
Today, it's all about AI meets sustainability. We've looked at, articles, research, seeing how AI is actually making a difference.
hmm
And our mission really is to cut through the jargon, the tech speak, and just show you the real world impact, what's actually happening.
And what we found looking through the sources is that this isn't just theory. It's not science fiction. AI is out there right now.
Doing real things.
Yeah, doing some really fascinating, effective things to tackle environmental problems.
Absolutely. Have you ever thought that your phone or the tech behind it could be helping save endangered animals? Or maybe stop huge
It
wildfires?
sounds futuristic, but
Let's find out how. So maybe we start with monitoring, how AI helps us just, keep an eye on the environment.
okay, yeah. Environmental monitoring is a great place to start.
Yeah.
The scale AI brings is
Yeah.
it's pretty remarkable. Think about floods.
Okay, floods are devastating.
Exactly. So Google has this thing called Flood Hub. It uses AI to predict where and when floods might happen.
How far ahead?
Get this up to 7 days in advance.
A whole week. Wow, that's significant lead time.
It is. And it's not a small thing either. It reaches something like 460 million people.
460 million.
Yeah, across 80 countries.
Yeah.
And the impact, well, the estimates suggest it saves thousands of lives, over 3,000 a year.
That's incredible.
And it cuts down economic damage too, maybe by $14 million annually.
Mm.
So it really shows you AI's potential for good right there.
It absolutely does. Okay, so from floods or wildfires, another huge threat. I read something about electronic noses in forests.
Ah, yeah. That's Dryad Networks. They've got these AI-powered sensors, basically, deployed in places like the Eberswald Forest in Germany.
Electronic noses. So they sniff out trouble.
Kind of. They monitor tiny changes, temperature, humidity, air pressure,
Yeah.
the subtle stuff. In that one forest, they have 400 sensors just constantly gathering data.
Wow. So it's like an early warning system before you even see smoke.
Exactly. By catching those small shifts, the AI can flag potential fire risks much, much earlier than, say, a camera or a person might.
Yeah.
And that means a faster response,
Mm.
maybe even stopping a big fire before it really gets going. That early detection is just
Mhm.
crucial.
Makes total sense. Okay, what about something more? Everyday air pollution affects so many of us.
Yeah, AI is making inroads there too. We've probably seen apps like IQ Air or Plume Labs.
Yeah.
They give you real-time air quality info.
Oh, yeah, I check those sometimes.
Well, often there's AI working behind the scenes, processing lots of complex data from different sensors, different sources, and then presenting it so, you can actually understand it easily.
So AI is translating all that complex data for my phone app.
In many cases, yeah. And it goes deeper. Researchers, like at Cornell, they've built AI models to calculate levels of PM 2.5.
Those are the really tiny, nasty particles, right?
Exactly. The really harmful ones. And the goal is to use these AI predictions to help, well, lessen the health problems caused by bad air quality. It's a huge public health issue.
It really is. Okay, switching gears a bit. Biodiversity, all the amazing plants and animals. How's AI helping there?
This is pretty cool, actually. There are tools like Wildbook that use computer vision, basically AI, that can see and understand images.
Okay.
Wildbook looks at photos, videos of wildlife, and helps researchers count them accurately. But what's really smart is it can often identify individual animals.
Like based on their stripes or spots.
Exactly, unique markings. So instead of someone painstakingly counting every zebra in a photo.
Which sounds incredibly tedious.
Right, the AI can do it faster, often more accurately.
Mm.
And that data isn't just a head count.
No. What else?
It's super valuable for understanding habitats, seeing how climate change might be affecting different species. It really informs conservation work.
Okay, so AI is like this incredibly powerful observer, watching floods, fires, air, animals, giving us insights we couldn't get before.
Pretty much, yeah. It enhances our ability to see what's happening.
So now let's shift. How does it help us actually use our resources better, more wisely?
Right, because monitoring is one thing, but resource management, that's key for long-term sustainability. And AI is popping up in lots of different industries here.
Okay, like where? Let's start with agriculture, food, Always important.
Definitely. So think robotic harvesting, AI-powered robots that can see when a fruit or vegetable is perfectly ripe.
And just pick that one.
Exactly. So less waste from picking too early or too late.
Okay.
And then there's irrigation. AI can optimize it, figure out exactly how much water plants need and where and when.
So less water wasted.
Big time. And often less need for chemical fertilizers, too. It leads to healthier crops, smaller environmental footprint. A real win-win, like you said earlier.
Yeah, that sounds great. What about manufacturing? Factories, production lines? Seems like a place ripe for efficiency.
Oh, absolutely. That computer vision AI we mentioned, it's used here to spot defects in products, like right on the assembly line,
Catching mistakes early.
super early. So faulty items don't even make it out the door. That cuts down on waste, obviously, but also on returns.
Ah, right. The whole process of shipping things back.
Exactly. That's called reverse logistics.
Yeah.
And it has its own carbon footprint,
Yeah.
fuel for trucks, planes. So stopping defects early avoids all that.
That's a neat connection. So AI isn't just finding flaws, it's stopping this whole wasteful chain reaction.
Precisely. And related to that, AI can also monitor industrial plants for leaks, water leaks, chemical leaks.
Stuff you really don't want escaping.
Exactly. Early detection prevents contamination, saves valuable resources. It's about being more responsible, environmentally and economically.
Makes sense. And sticking with resources, transportation, logistics, moving stuff around, that uses a ton of fuel.
A huge amount. AI algorithms are getting really good at optimizing delivery routes. They crunch massive amounts of data traffic, weather, delivery schedules, you name it.
To find the absolute best path.
The most efficient path, yeah. Less time idling in traffic, shorter distances. It all adds up to lower fuel consumption
Yeah.
and fewer greenhouse gas emissions. It's a direct boost for sustainable transport.
It's like giving the whole delivery network a super smart, eco-friendly brain. Okay, let's focus on another big one, energy, how we use it.
Yeah, our energy habit is a massive part of our carbon footprint, right? So anything AI can do to make us more efficient there, it's a big deal.
Like data centers, I hear they're incredibly power hungry, especially for cooling.
They are huge energy consumers, but AI can help. Algorithms can monitor the cooling needs constantly in real time, adjusting airflow, temperature, using only the energy that's absolutely necessary.
Not just blasting AC all the time.
Exactly. And they can also predict energy needs. So the center can plan better, maybe rely less on non-renewable power during peak times. This improves their PUE, power usage effectiveness.
PU low is better, right?
Right. Means less energy is wasted. Plus, better energy management can even make the hardware last longer. Less electronic waste.
That's huge, especially since our need for data just keeps going up and up. What about the other side of energy renewables? Solar, wind.
Good point. Renewables are great, but they aren't always consistent, The sun doesn't always shine, the wind doesn't always blow.
Right. Makes it tricky for the grid.
It does. But AI can analyze weather patterns, historical energy use, and predict how much renewable energy will likely be available.
So the grid knows what to expect.
Yeah. It helps integrate those renewables more smoothly. The grid can adjust other power sources accordingly, rely less on fossil fuels when the sun is shining bright. Renewables are already about 30% of global electricity. AI helps push that number higher.
So AI is kind of like the conductor, making sure all the different energy sources work together efficiently, especially the green ones.
That's a good way to put it, yeah. Orchestrating the flow.
Okay, we've covered a lot of really positive applications. AI helping monitor, manage resources, save energy. But there's another side to this, isn't there? The impact of AI itself.
Exactly. That's crucial. We can't ignore that developing and running AI, well, it takes energy. It has its own environmental footprint.
So we need sustainable AI. Is that the term?
That's the idea, yeah? Sustainable AI. It's about thinking about the environmental impact across the whole life cycle of AI.
Life cycle. You mean from?
From the very beginning.
Yeah.
The idea phase, gathering the data, training these massive models, which can be very energy intensive, all the way through to how the AI is actually used out in the world.
Okay.
The goal is basically to minimize the energy drain, minimize the greenhouse gas emissions associated with building and running AI systems.
So making sure the cure isn't worse than the disease, in a way. Making sure our AI solutions don't create new environmental problems.
Exactly. It's about ecological integrity, making sure the tech aligns with the green goals we're trying to achieve with the tech.
That makes perfect sense. Got to practice what you preach, essentially. So looking forward, what are the big hurdles? And what's the really exciting potential down the road?
Well, a major challenge is definitely that energy consumption piece we just talked about.
Yeah.
Making AI itself more efficient, developing greener algorithms, powering data centers with renewables. That's ongoing work.
Right. Responsible development is key.
And there are ethical considerations too, making sure
Yeah.
AI benefits are shared fairly, things like that.
Okay. But the potential, what gets you excited?
Oh, the potential's still massive. We'll likely see everything we've discussed just scale up, become more widespread, more effective. Think about AI integrated even more into smart homes, smart cities.
Optimizing energy everywhere.
Yeah, or maybe in places like assisted living facilities,
Mhm.
using AI not just for energy efficiency, but also for safety, for better care, maybe even designing entirely new, environmentally friendly care homes using AI principles from the ground up. The applications are just going to keep expanding, I think. We're really just scratching the surface.
It's genuinely fascinating seeing how AI is weaving itself into, well, pretty much every effort we're making towards a greener world, from predicting huge disasters down to tweaking energy use second by second.
It really is a powerful tool,
Yeah.
but it's worth remembering its positive impact really depends on us, on developing it and using it responsibly, with sustainability baked in from the start.
Right. Which kind of leads to a final thought, doesn't it? Considering how deeply AI is getting involved in sustainability, what's our role? As individuals, as societies, what responsibility do we have to make sure this powerful tech really stays aligned with these critical environmental goals? Makes you think.